Okay, guys, here's cycle L phase 4. We're almost done with it. I think we just have 3 more phases. There's just, 3 after this, and they're all really short. So the practice is on Delta Math. I think, I just asked you to do like 3 problems, and you could do more if you want. This is part A from the 2015 calc test. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to sketch something called the slope field. And it's really pretty simple, and it's a nice way to pick up some easy points if they ask you to do it on your upcoming test. So consider this differential equation. So a differential equation is an equation that involves a derivative. Okay, this equation involves this derivative right here, so it's called a differential equation. And every differential equation has a corresponding thing called a slope field, which is not the same as its graph. It's not the same as the graph of the derivative, but it's just another way of representing it visually, I guess, something called a slope field. So on the axes provided, sketch a slope field for the given differential equation at the 6 points indicated. So they're indicating, and they'll tell you how many points that they want you to look at. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got 6 points. And the way you do it is this, guys. So each point has an x and a y, and we're going to plug those x's and y's for each point into this differential equation, and that's going to give us the slope at that point. Okay, so, and then I'll show you what to do after that. So we're going to have, instead of just an x and y table, which you're used to using for some things, we're going to have an xy and a dy dx table like that. Okay. Now there's 6 points, so I'll leave myself 6 rows. And I'm going to put the coordinates of each point in. And I'll start with, so there's 3 points that have the x coordinate 0. So I'm going to go down in like columns. It's just a nice way of organizing. So this point is 0, 2. So 0, 2. This point is 0, 1. We don't use this point because they didn't indicate it. And then this one, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1. And then I'm going to do a line here. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do a line there just because, these are going to represent the slopes of the points in this column here. All right, now, these 3 points, the y values are going to repeat. We're going to have, for the y values, we're going to have 2, 1, and negative 1, but this time all these 3 x values are 1. So we're going to, instead of 0, 2, we're going to have 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, negative 1. And then we're going to plug these x and y into here, and that's going to give us the slope at that point. So I'm plugging in 0 for x and 2 for y. So 2, 0, minus 2. And then this one is going to be 2 times 0 minus 1, 2 times 0 minus negative 1. I just like to do it like that because it helps me go faster somehow. That's a negative 2, that's a negative 1, and this ends up being a positive 1. All right, now here's the thing, guys. What they are going to be looking for is they're going to be looking for a little line segment on top of this point, and that little line segment needs to have the relative slope at that point. All right, it's just an estimation, so don't worry about it. So this is how I would go about it. So this is negative 2, right? So the slope is negative 2. So negative 2 is negative 2 over 1. You know a slope is rise over run. So if I go like this, like if you don't have to do it like me, but I'll put like a little dot there. That's my starting point, and I want to go down 2, right 1. So down 2, right 1. And then I connect those, and that is roughly the steepness that I want to be over that point there. Okay? And as long as you have like the proportion right, like I'm going down more than I'm going right, then you should be getting, a pretty good steepness. All right, now negative 1. Maybe I'll start like there, and I'll go down one, right one. And this should look less steep than that. They kind of look the same. Whoops. I don't know. I guess it looks less steep. What they're going to be looking for, actually, let me do it first, and I'll tell you what they're going to be looking for. So that's about like -1. And then +1, like I'll start there and I'll go up one, right one. Up one, right one. Okay, so right here, I'm just giving myself an idea of the steepness of the line segments that I want to put. Okay, so let me go back up here and put them now. All right, so of these three little line segments, you know, between these two negative ones with negative slopes, this one has to look steeper. So what they're going to be looking for is they're going to be looking for the relative steepness of the slopes. So let me show you. So this has a slope. I want a slope of -2 to be represented there. So like kind of about that, I guess. I don't know. I guess it looks all right. Now, this could be, yours could look a little bit steeper than mine. It could look less steep than mine. But the thing is, relative, they're going to be looking for relative steepness. This cannot be less steep than this one because this has a slope of -1. We know a slope of -1 is not as steep as a slope of -2. So you have to make sure, you know, of course you want that one to be decreasing, but like not quite as steep. Okay. And then down here at 1, it's going to be like that looks pretty good. All right. So, you know, they're going to want this one to look steeper than this one, and they're going to want to know, like, these are negative and that's positive. Okay. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. They just want you to have, like, the right idea. Okay, so let's do these ones. So this is 2 times 1 minus 2. 2 times 1 minus 1. 2 times 1 minus -1. 0, 1, 3. Okay, what does a line segment with a slope of 0 look like? That's going to be horizontal. All right, a line segment with a slope of 1, we already had one right there. So it's going to look like similar. And then a slope of 3, that's going to be relative to this segment with a slope of 1. This is going to be pretty steep. So I'll go like that. Okay, so now I'm going to put these 3 here. Right, so that has to be that. This one has to have a slope of 1. I already have a slope of 1 down here. So I'm just going to kind of try to copy this angle, like up there. That looks pretty good. And then down here, a slope of +3. That is going to be pretty steep. Guys, that's it, okay? And I will be honest, a lot of students are able to not even show this table. All right, I personally, even after doing it all these years, I need to have this table for my reference, but a lot of students just kind of do this without, which is fine. All right, let me do another one. And on Delta Math, you're only asked to do 3, and it's nice because they just have you don't even have to draw these really, they have you like drag something. Okay, consider this differential equation. It's a differential equation because involves a derivative. On the axes provided, sketch a slope field for the given differential equation. That's it. At the 12 points indicated, and for x being... okay. And for x between -1 and 1, sketch the solution curve that passes through, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're going to cross this part out. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay. All right, don't worry about that. So, all right, so we're just going to do this, the slope field. This time we've got 12 points. So I'm going to have, I'm going to do, you know, very similar, but I want to have 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So I'll do all the ones with x is -1. I'll do those first. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 points there with x -1. So I got -1, 2, -1, 1, -1, -1, -1, -2. All right, so that's going to give me the slopes in the first column of points. Second column of 4 points all have an x coordinate of 0. So all these y coordinates are going to repeat, but the x coordinate is going to be 0 now. So 0, 2. Okay. And then for the third column, the x coordinate will be 1. Okay, so now I got to do this. So x plus 1 over y. So -1 plus 1 over 2. Guys, these all end up being 0, right? Because the top is 0 for all of them. So my little line segments are going to be all horizontal for this whole thing. So I'll do them now. Okay. And we'll do this. So 0 plus 1 over 2. This is a half. It's 1, -1, and -1/2. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe let me try something else too. All right, so we're looking at these two positive slopes, a half and 1. They're both going to be positive, so we're going to have an increasing line segment, but this one needs to be steeper. So if this is 1, then maybe a half is going to be, like less steep, like that. And then same thing down here. Both of these line segments are going to be going down, but this is going to be the steeper one. And this one actually is just kind of going to be a reflection of that positive one. So it's going to be like that. And then this half one is like not as steep. Okay, so the next column is going to look like that. Okay, so 1/2. So not super steep, a little bit steeper. This is kind of just a reflection of positive 1, and then less steep than that. And it does not have to be perfect. I can't emphasize that enough. Yeah, see mine, like these look almost the same. Which I don't mean. I don't know, I could fudge it like that, I guess. That looks a little better. Okay, now the last one. So this is going to be 1 plus 1 over 2. All right, so this is going to be 2 over 2, 2 over 1. That's -2. And that ends up being -1. Okay. So between these two positive slopes, this is 1. So that's going to be, I don't know, something like that. 2 is going to be steeper. -2 is going to be kind of a steep negative. Yeah, so something like that. Oh, and by the way, like if you already had a slope of 1 somewhere, already graphed, then just try to mimic it when you do another slope of 1. So like at this point 0, 1, I already had a slope of 1 there. And so if I want this to be a slope of 1, I just kind of try to mimic that angle. All right, I need 2 to be steeper. And then I need -2 to be kind of like a pretty steep negative. And then -1. That one was already, wait, was that already -1? Yeah, 0, -1. This was already a -1, so I kind of maybe try to copy it there. That's it, guys. A really easy way to get some points. Okay, so do some practice. It just requires 3 problems, Delta Math, but then keep going if you want more practice.